To anyone paying attention, it's pretty obvious that our standard Western diet is not healthy. More and more evidence points to ultra-processed foods being a large part of the problem. I've reduced my everyday consumption of UPFs, but it isn't always easy to do at the best of times. But it's made even harder when you're on holiday. In this video, I'm going to look at the best ways to eat UPF free on a cruise holiday.
2 + 3 = cruising outnumber.
If you've not heard about ultra-processed foods before, I'll quickly give you an overview. Ultra-processed foods are foods that have been changed a lot from their original form in factories. They often have many extra ingredients added, such as artificial flavours, colours or preservatives, to make them either taste good or last longer. Crisps, sweets and some ready-to-eat packaged meals are examples of ultra-processed foods. While these foods can be tasty and very convenient, they also contain more chemicals and unhealthy fats than our bodies really need. Eating too many ultra-processed foods may mean we miss out on the important nutrients found in fresher, less processed foods like vegetables, meats, whole grains and fruits. Reducing UPF isn't about never eating them, but rather trying to enjoy them as occasional treats rather than everyday meals. If you're interested in learning more, I run one of the biggest UPF focused Facebook groups in the world. There's a link in the description. I think the easiest way to start trying to be UPF free on a cruise ship would be the buffet. Almost every cruise ship offers a comprehensive buffet. You pick up a plate and head round selecting what you want. The salad bar is an obvious, if not imaginative, place to start. Try to avoid anything that is pre-mixed, so you'll want to get sweet corn and lettuce rather than potato salad or pre-mixed couscous. For dressings, you're normally okay with a vinaigrette. Everything else tends to be bottled, so you should be able to read the label. Cold cuts of meat can be tricky, but a good rule of thumb is that if the shape of the meat is too perfect, then it's probably been mechanically recovered and reformed in a factory, so stay away. The hot food here is where it starts to get a bit more tricky. Each meal should have a tag that tells you the ingredients, however it might not tell you every ingredient. You can try asking the people serving the food, but they aren't usually the same people preparing the food, so they might not know, and you'll be very unpopular holding up the line. I would avoid the pies, lasagnas, and go to the carvery section. With the exception of the gravy and stuffing, the food in the carvery section should be good to go. I must admit though, I don't tend to go to the buffet. I'm more of a sit-down restaurant kind of guy. So let's look at a typical menu from Britain's most popular cruise line, P&O. This is a classic example of a P&O dinner menu. There are lots of options on here. Grilled fillet of salmon with potato wedges, seasonal vegetables and lemon hollandaise sauce. The sauce is probably not freshly prepared, so you could ask for that on the side. Pork rack with roasted root vegetables and Normandy potatoes. So Normandy potatoes are a lot like Dauphinoise potatoes, which is prepared traditionally with cream and onions, so it should be completely fine. I'm pretty confident that the food prepared on board is from scratch. I don't think they'd be buying in the Dauphinoise potatoes pre-made from a factory. In fact, here's a clip from a documentary that aired a few years ago about cruise kitchens.
Before food heads up to the main galleys, it starts in one of the prep kitchens, off I-95. There's a butcher shop.
Butcher, good morning. Yes, sir. These are the gentlemen looking after all the meat cuts.
The butcher goes through about 15,000 pounds of beef and 9,700 pounds of chicken each week. There's also a veggie cutting room and a fish thawing box. Lobster is the most popular dish in main dining. The ship goes through about 2,100 pounds of lobster tails every week. Finally, the food heads upstairs to the main galley. The ship's biggest kitchen is broken down by categories: desserts, bread, cold food, and hot food. In dessert, chefs whip up cakes, chocolates, and 100 different types of pastries. Over in the bread bakery, they make 40 different kinds of bread from all over the world, all from scratch.
I can't see any main that couldn't be slightly tweaked to be UPF free. And that's one of the best things about a restaurant meal on a cruise ship. You can ask for adjustments or replacements. If you'd rather be eating the roasted root vegetables instead of the Normandy potatoes, they'll do that for you. It's a bit less clear for some of the starters and desserts on this menu. I'd probably avoid starters like Atlantic prawn cocktail with Marie Rose sauce. I'd avoid the ice creams and the cheese plate as well, for the biscuits. The chef's recommendation looks to me like a great UPF free meal: grilled sardines, roast chicken and roasted peach. In conclusion, I think it would be surprisingly easy to eat ultra-processed free on a cruise ship. Just pay attention to what you're ordering, but also remember, you're on holiday. Make your own decisions. I'm going to try this for real on my next cruise holiday, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out.